What's up, babes? What's up, babes? I am back with another video. So if you guys enjoyed my last video, then make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. If you did not go see my last video about fitness and where we're at and what we got going on, then I want to go encourage you guys to go watch that video. Make sure by the end of this video you like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank y'all so much for the support. I'm still in my workout gear. I told you guys in the last video, your girl needs to get her workout on. My lips feel a little dry. Do they look dry, sis? Because they feel it. No? Okay, cool. But anyway, I just cooked some vegan spaghetti. I'm super excited to have it. If you guys want to kind of see what it's looking like, baby. You can't really see as well, but honey, follow me at that vegan fit babe if you guys want to catch up with the journey of weight loss and you want to just keep up with my fitness. That vegan fit babe, which I'll put it right here somewhere on the screen, so go follow on Instagram. I tell you guys all the time, follow my main page, which is Lisa Victoria. If you look in my description box, you will notice that all of my pages that are associated with me are also in that description box. So if you guys want to see a little bit more about me and you just kind of want to whoop-de-woo and be in on the end with your girl, then you might want to check it out. Yeah. Okay, y'all, I'm not gonna act up today. I'm at the end of my coffee. I just finished it. I don't want to get too TMI, but I've already had like my bowel movements from this coffee, and I had a probiotic already. So if you don't drink coffee for anything else, I like to drink it for probiotic effect. I'm not saying coffee is the probiotic, but in a way it kind of, you know, gets things going and flowing in that gut, so you can get rid of that additional bloat or toxins or whatever, that waste that's in your body. For me, it helps to get rid of that, all of that. And then I also take my probiotics, which you guys know. I take my hair, skin, and nail vitamins. I take my multivitamins. I take probiotics. A lot of times, like, I know people take like iron pills and things like that. I probably should, you know, I don't really want to start taking no pills of any sort, but I do eat a lot of greens and have a lot of superfood type vibes. But I'm always cold as well, and anemia can get very real for me, especially at certain times. So I literally am excited about dinner. I'm freaking having vegan spaghetti, and I was gonna make a side of salad or cucumbers, but I kind of don't think I'm gonna do that because I do have my spinach in the pasta, so I'm getting more greens that way anyway, and I kind of just don't want a lot of food right now. I just want to do me a little portion and then put the rest up for a later time when I have dinner later, or not tonight, but like tomorrow and everything like that. Last night I was up to like 5-6 o'clock in the morning, almost 7 actually, and I was drinking wine and stuff like that last night, and I was going over goals, and I was rewriting new things and working on branding and strategizing, and then I woke up like a couple hours later and got my day started as though I had sleep. Totally didn't. So that's why the coffee kind of helped, because it's giving me a little bit of an energy boost, but it also is helping regulate. Sorry y'all, so the camera kind of storage filled up, but I kind of wanted to talk about in this video my how I lost 30 pounds after becoming vegan, after becoming plant-based, what I did to lose that weight. I thought that it would be important to make another video that just talked about how I lost 30 pounds and have managed to keep it off. If you're new to the channel, like I stated before, make sure you smash the subscribe button. We're going to be doing a fitness Shape Body Shake meal replacement giveaway from Women's Best, and we're also going to be doing a 500 subscriber luxury giveaway. So if you are into fitness, if you are trying to get your fitness on, sis, then you might want to go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you can, you know, kind of opt in to be able to win that. So I also have to make a video about my hair, because I realized that the video I thought I made never got uploaded, and we hit a 1.5 years January 1st, and I'm supposed to be doing an update. But in this video, let's go ahead and just talk about the topic that I'm trying to talk about, which is how I, first of all, let's talk about how I gained the weight, and then let's talk about how I got the weight off. So if I'm talking too fast, or you feel me, I'm just trying not to make this video super long, but I kind of want to spell out the details of everything, because if you're like me, you probably like details, and you probably like to know like exact things that actually help the person when they're talking about weight, other than, hey, I was this amount of weight and now I'm this. You kind of want to know, what did you do? How did you lose the weight? How did you keep it off? So no expert, let's just say that. I am not a nutritionist. I'm just telling you guys what I've done, and I know it sounds cliche, but what has worked for me, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna work for you, but I'm gonna tell you those tips just in case they do, baby. So I'll put tips in the description box below after I post the video. I'll have to go back and get the tips. But tip number one, well, before we get into tip, let's talk about how I gained the weight, where I was at before the weight. And so I've told you guys this multiple times on my Instagram page, and I've told you guys this multiple times on my YouTube page, but for my new people who might just be tuning in, I'm just gonna give you a backstory. So long story short, all my life I've been like 120, 130 pound girl from high school all the way up to college and after college. 2018 I decided to switch my life to plant-based, starting out pescatarian before going 100% vegan. And I did that because I kept getting sick off of everything I was eating, from dairy to meat. Sick, like sick. And it got to a point where, sis, are you sick and tired of being sick, or are you gonna keep tolerating being sick and still eating what you want? Because at this point it's about your health, not about what you necessarily want at the moment. So for me, I didn't follow becoming a vegan as a trend. I became a vegan as something that my body was telling me to do, and I haven't looked back, and it was cold turkey for me. Initially I did the pescatarian, where I was only eating fish and seafood. However, growing up, I never really ate much like crabs and stuff like that, because I used to always feel like my lips would be tingling, probably breaking out from the seasonings, and it just, do you want your lips to tingle or do you not want that reaction? So I wouldn't eat crabs as much. But when I became plant-based and I was only eating pescatarian, baby, I started having literally like crab boils all the time. And I'm like, where did this come from? I was not craving crabs, and out of nowhere now all I want is crabs, and I want a seafood vibe and corn on the cob. And I'm like, girl, where did this come from? So that's what I would have. And then obviously you got to watch out when you're eating too much crabs and stuff, because there's mercury in the sea and stuff, and you don't want that compilation in your body. You don't want that buildup, so you kind of have to be careful not to have mercury like that in your system. So I had to make sure I wasn't eating it as often to where that could be an issue. But then I would also still eat fish and chicken and stuff like that. So and you guys know I love salmon. And then when I realized like I wasn't having much of it at a certain point, I'm like, girl, just go 100% vegan. It's probably gonna make you feel better anyway. And to be quite frank, it does make me feel better being 100% vegan. Will I ever go back to eating meat? Will I ever go back to having dairy like that? I don't necessarily see myself. I can't tell you what the future holds. There's vegans who've been vegans for a long time, never changed back. There's vegans who had to change for health reasons because they needed to get certain, maybe they needed certain nutrients or whatever that came in the form of dairy, or it came in the form of meat. I can't tell you about 10 years from now, but I can tell you right now what I have going on, and I can tell you I don't anticipate going back. So pretty much when I embarked upon this journey and I was going between that pescatarian to that vegan, being plant-based, your girl tacked on 50 plus pounds. We're talking about a girl who went from 120, 130 pounds to 180 pounds. Y'all, the weight was in my belly, the weight was in my, you can see some in my face, you can see some in my, obviously when you gain weight, it's within your whole body, it's just what part is taking up the most. My midsection looked like I was about 6 months pregnant, and before anybody can roast me, I can roast myself. So let's be clear, not a person where you say something negative to me and I'm just gonna like just be, you know, in that negativity all day. I'm the type of person who probably already realized what you just said if it was true, and it just is what it is. I keep it so real with myself, like so real with myself, like and I started to notice the weight in the belly, which I'm hopefully going to remember to insert a picture so you guys can see how big my belly looked. And then now presently where I'm like at the 150 mark, usually I'm going to show you probably that the difference between 180 and 150. So obviously people say, oh girl, you're looking good at 150, blah blah blah, but you have to realize I am used to being a 120 something pound girl or a 130 pound girl. So thank you for the compliments of 150 looking good on me, but your girl is trying to get back to the 120s. So I'm probably gonna go back to the 120s. And I know people are like, oh, you're gonna look so skinny. You got to do what makes you happy. Once I get into the 120s, the goal is to still, you know, be fit. I want to still be fit, and I'm not gonna look too skinny. I'm gonna, you know, but I want my body to be cut in different ways. And I found that being in the 120s, 130s is more of a fit for me. I feel better. I look better probably. And if I don't to other people, to myself. That's the most important part, that you focus on what makes you happy and what is, you know, like, is this weight good for me? Do I feel healthy at this weight? What do I feel? Because everybody will have their opinions as to what you should do. And oh girl, you need to just stay 150. Oh girl, you need to be 165. Well, newsflash baby, I'm 5'2", and too much weight don't look too good on me. And you know, I know what makes me happy, like I said, ultimately. So I will be working toward getting my body back where I want it to be and all of that. Period. Okay, so basically when I gained that 180, my goal was to figure out what happened. How did I go from 120s, 130s to 180s when I was still working out like I was in the past? I was still, you know, eating some of the same foods with the exception of dairy and meat. What was going on? So when I sat down and I dissected like what was really happening in my life, here's what I found. I found that I wasn't getting good sleep. In fact, my insomnia got worse when I became vegan. There would be nights that I felt like I couldn't sleep, but when I became vegan, I felt like I experienced insomnia way more. So obviously I had to try to get myself to a point where I can actually sleep a bit during the night, because that also helps with insulin resistance. It helps with your, you know, like regulation, your melatonin that you get in your body while you sleep. Like, it helps with so many different things. And a lot of people think, oh, when I'm trying to lose weight, I need to just focus on one thing. No sis, it's a combo. You need to like make sure you're sleeping well. Yes, exercise is important, but what are you doing in the kitchen? Because it's about 80-90% of what you're eating in the kitchen. That 10%, that, you know, 20% is maybe from the workouts. So I'm like, okay, what are you know what I mean? So it's all of these things are a combo, you know what I mean? How's your blood sugar? You know what I mean? Is there something that's creating insulin resistance? Are you having too many spikes of sugar? Like, what is going on? And I started to basically focus on those things and try to figure out, well, how do we combat X, Y, and Z? When I started to literally work on each of those things together, that's when I slowly started seeing the scale go down. It wouldn't be significant, but it would be slow. We'd be 180, then we'd be 178, 176, then we would just fluctuate. Before you know it, we just started moving down the scale, because I started to figure out what was going on with my body. Not what the girl on YouTube said was going on with her body, but what was going on with Crelisa Victoria's body. Now, obviously, fitness videos and all of this is nice on YouTube. I love them. I make them myself. But you have to figure out what is happening to you before you can take the advice of other people. Some people, like, your problem might be because you're working out and you're going to the kitchen and you're eating syrup and sugar and cookies and carbs and all of that after you work out, so you're not seeing the weight loss. Other people like myself, it could be insulin resistance. I had smoothies a lot where they had natural sugars, but it was more calories in them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm drinking a full smoothie, 2 smoothies in a day or so, or whatever, and then still eating regular meals. Well, that puts me in a caloric surplus. And if you don't know the difference between surplus and deficit, surplus is basically an excess amount and deficit is just a lower amount. In the fitness realm, a surplus is usually used when you're bulking and you're gaining, and a deficit is when you are trying to cut/lose weight. So being that I was having those smoothies, and even though they were healthy, okay, I'm still going in a caloric surplus. So I'm like, the problem is you're eating beyond the calorie need for the day. We need to portion control. So I started to figure out what was really happening for me, and it was all about more so in the kitchen and sleeping and all of those combinations of things than it was working out for me. So then eventually I went from 80s to the 170s to the 160s. I think at the start of this year, I think I was maybe 160. I know at one point in January I was 165. So I don't know if I started the year at 170 or if it was like 165, 166. But I ended up, now that we are in January of 2021, it's been a complete year. I've managed to lose roughly 15 to 20 pounds in a given year, and keep it off. So I found that that was good. There was a lot of months where I felt like I was maintaining. So there'd be like a good 3 to 5 months that I feel like, dang, I keep fluctuating from 160 to 165. Then you kind of got to switch up the monotony of what your body is doing so that you can start to experience different results. So some days I might be doing OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, and fasting throughout the day. There's other times where, you know, I try to eat within my windows of time. That way my body can get used to a fasting window. There would be other times where I'm like, we're only having juice, like cleanses for 3 days sometimes, because I love cleansing my body. And not even when it's for weight loss, just it does something for my mental clarity, and it clears my mind, and also I can physically feel my gut feeling like it's being reconstructed in a better way. So I started working out more, you know, just putting in the work. So once I started to incorporate the rotation of things and shocking my body, because if your body gets used to either a certain workout or certain foods, and it knows it's coming at a certain period of time, sometimes your body will be like, okay, we already knew this was coming, sis. But when you switch up the monotony and your body's not expecting it, sometimes it will allow for those breakdowns to happen in your body that you didn't know that was coming. Protein shakes, amazing source of additional protein. Sometimes I'll drink a protein shake at night before I'm about to go to bed. It will help with bowel movements in the morning as well. But a lot of times I try to have protein shakes when I know I'm having workouts, because if you don't work out with protein, you can gain weight and it can become flabby. So the point of protein, yes, you want that protein build, but to gain your muscles, but you need to do the work to gain them as well. So I just started putting in the work and telling myself that we're going to get back to where we were. So presently, like I said, I've been coming in at 149, 150. Obviously, I just went up a couple pounds over the last 2 days from eating my vegan boil, which I told you guys about. Basically, those always make me gain 2 to 3 pounds when I eat them, and then 2-3 days later, the weight's gone. So the goal right now is to get back to that 149 and under, and get from this 154, 153 that I just got to over the last 2 days. And then once we get 149, we will technically be 20 pounds away from hitting the 120s bracket again. It'll be 129 pounds, you know, 20 pounds away from 149. But then we'll go down just a little bit more, sculpt our body, and do all of that. So I'm super excited about that. So that's how I was able to lose the 30 pounds. But also I would take my probiotics, I would take my multivitamins, I would just do my regular. And then I also drink apple cider vinegar. I mix it with water. I would have it 1 to 2 times a day, drink it with a straw to avoid it messing up my enamel on my teeth. And it definitely helps with the regulation of blood sugar. It definitely helps with like getting everything going and flowing in your body. So just figure out what works for you. Don't be worrying about what works for everybody else. But the step to getting back to where you were or to hitting your goals is to find out what is the problem. How do you provide a solution when you don't know what the problem is? So that's what I did. I figured out what was the problem with Curly's Victoria and how do we fix it. And I took it in strides daily. You have to realize that every day you will not be motivated. But if you're disciplined and you're consistent, you're going to get the results. Another thing is drinking a gallon of water a day helps with water retention, but it also helps flush out of those toxins in your body. So I would be drinking my gallon of water. You guys know water is like my favorite drink. So I drink water. I do. It does a lot for, yes, your skin clarity, but it also does a lot for what's going on in your body, helping with the retention, helping with detoxification. And I would sometimes make my detox water with cucumber, lemon, mint leaves. And honestly, drinking my detox water before, like those last few hours before I go to sleep, plays a really good role for my digestion in the morning. When I drink hot lemon water at night, or I drink my detox cucumbers and all that type of water, and I get up in the morning, oh, my bowels are so ready. And it's like amazing because during the night your body had time to kind of just shuffle what was going on and prepare a healthy bowel movement for the next day. And I know people get grossed out when we talk about bowel movements, but that is a crucial part of your body makeup. You need to be able to excrete waste that is in your body, and one way to do that is to do things that is going to, you know, kind of rev that up. You know, we kind of want to empty the fuel tank in the bellies. That's how we're going to get rid of that detox, and that's how we're going to get rid of that waste and all of those toxins in our body that we don't need. You know, sometimes you just got to reset the gut. That's what I did. I'm back to, like I said, the 150s. I'm feeling great, but I know that there's still work to come. By summer, your girl is trying to definitely be 120s, 130s, and hopefully I've sculpted my body, you know, better than what we currently stand. But regardless of, you know, where we're at when summer hits, there will be progress. So I just wanted to get on here and share my experience of how I lost 30 pounds and have managed to keep it off, where my goals are going, and just encourage anybody out there who, whether you've switched your lifestyle recently, or you are trying to become more healthy, or you just are not content with the weight. Maybe you gained quarantine weight. My weight wasn't a quarantine weight type vibe. It was literally something that had become tacked on over a year to a year and a half, and I felt at one point like I can't figure out how to lose this weight. Like I was working out and all of that, and it just seemed like it wasn't doing anything. So once I figured out what was working for me, like I told you guys, that's how I got the results. So I encourage you to figure out what works for you, go after that, and be the better version of yourself, because it'll pay off in the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have like several more to make, so I think I'm gonna have like something to drink because your girl is tired of talking. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Stay tuned. Later.
It's only 11 something.